Ever since I was just a beginner since I was even starting on YouTube. What is up, ninjas? It is your boy Kevin David, and today we are going to talk about how to make $250 per day using Shopify. So let's get into my computer and get into it. Today we are going to find some $250 per day products that I'm going to show you exactly how to sell on Shopify to start generating some profit right now. So let's get into my computer. Today we are going to answer the age-old, ancient question since the beginning of time: how to make $250 per day with Shopify. So we're gonna start on the classic AliExpress. I promise you this is not gonna be like every other product research video that you've seen on Shopify. We're gonna show some real, actual, actionable, implementable tactics that you can really start to use in your business immediately to find new products. But AliExpress is one of the best ways. So this is what we're gonna talk about a little bit later. These are literally the secrets to my Shopify business. We're gonna discuss each one of them in detail, but first we're gonna take a look at a few things on AliExpress. What I like to do with AliExpress is actually very simple. This site is so overwhelming. There's so much literally on the site that, you know, coming here and looking at this, you can get pretty overwhelmed pretty quickly. So what I like to do is literally two things. This is a pretty new feature that they've actually implemented underneath the search bar. And so you can, these are interesting products that are kind of trending according to AliExpress's searches. So I like to look at most of them. Magnetic blocks, flame bulb, water bottle I'm probably not going to look at. But the cool thing is if you reload the site, and I just press Command R there, I'm on a Mac. It's the same thing with a PC. I think it's Control R to refresh the page. You can look at, cat socks, body suits, tactical knife, hoop earrings, soldering iron, Chromecast, right? And so there's a ton of different things that you can actually find using this method, and you can take a look at these actual search results. So magnetic blocks. Again, I always like to sort by orders here instead of best match. If you sort by orders, what this allows you to do is you can see what other drop shippers and other people normally with Shopify stores are actually buying, because these orders are other Shopify users and other people with Shopify stores that are actually ordering these products and then reselling them on Amazon. So, if they're paying $19, $20 per unit, they're probably charging, $49.95 for this. And you can see that, there's almost 5,000 orders, meaning that these products are selling, right? Because 5,000 people would not have bought 5,000 of these most likely if they're not able to sell them, because they'd only buy one. If they couldn't sell it, they wouldn't continue to buy more and more and more. And what we see here is a ton of different orders all around this whole niche, right? 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 3,300 orders. So there's a ton of orders, a ton of interest in this particular topic. And another cool thing that this related search thing gives you underneath the search bar here is when you type in any particular search phrase, it will give you related searches. So instead of actually looking at magnetic blocks, we could look at Lego blocks, terminal blocks, wooden blocks, water block. I've never heard of water block or terminal block. So let's take a quick look at these. An important point, just as we're kind of going through this, product research is kind of like a rabbit hole. I think about it like Alice in Wonderland, right? You sit down at your computer, you set, okay, I'm going to do product research for 1 hour for Shopify, and I'm going to find 10 products. If you lay it out in detail, kind of very set in stone like that for yourself, it's going to be much easier than saying, thinking about how overwhelming it sounds finding a nice product. Sit down, get in front of your computer, watch this whole video from start to finish. We're going to reveal some crazy stuff at the end of this video, I promise you. And once you do, use what you learn and then implement it, right? Don't wait, do it immediately after. Find yourselves, 3 to 10 products and actually go and start to implement. Because as we're going to learn, guys, the people who are, testing 5 products a day, that is the one thing that differentiates successful Shopify customers from people who are not successful as Shopify store owners. And so what we see here is not a lot of orders on this one, on water blocks, and we see not a ton of orders. It doesn't look like either, 449, but not a ton of orders on terminal blocks either. So obviously magnetic blocks is significantly more popular than the other two. And so this is definitely one that I would look into a little bit more. flame bulbs. So let's sort this one by orders. I know that these products were significantly, like unbelievably profitable actually during December. Let's actually plug these in. So one of the cool ways that you can see kind of how popular things are is go to the biggest organizer of data in the world. You know, it's probably a website that some of you guys have heard called Google. And so what we were already actually looking at this one. So flame bulbs, if we type this into trends.google.com, we can see that, you know, it was ridiculously popular, went up to a 100% score kind of leading into Christmas of last year. And then it kind of, you know, tapered off and is not particularly impressive as far as, you know, in recent times. So this is definitely not one that I would, you know, get too into. It kind of already came about, was very popular, kind of peaked at its popularity, and now it's on the downtrend. So even though there's a lot of orders, these might just be, you know, fulfilling orders that they've already had from a few months ago, or, you know, even if they're still selling, people already have the ad campaign set up, people already have the store set up. So this would not be one that we'd want to enter. I always like to look at, you know, new kind of product niches or particular like keywords or products to actually consider selling in Google Trends, and just make sure that there's like some sustained growth. I like to see 50 or higher, 50% or higher kind of throughout the year. Or if you're selling, if you have a seasonal store, right, maybe you have a dropshipping store devoted specifically to Christmas, obviously it would be a little bit different, but we could talk about that in another video. So let's take a look at cat socks. Obviously, cat and dog stuff are, you know, is generally very, very popular, just because the cat and dog niche is very passionate. People will always have cats and dogs. People love the companionship, and they have a lot of love and passion for their animals. And so, you know, when people have love and passion for things, they're willing to spend money on them. But something that I will note, right? You have to be very careful, because drop shipping has gained a lot of popularity, you know, in the past few years, and a lot of the, you know, quote unquote gurus and people who are in a position to like teach and release videos like that, they'll show just very basic stuff on, you know, cat jewelry or dog jewelry with no particular, you know, polarization, nothing very unique or you know, artistic about. And they'll say, you know, sell this cat earring and all of a sudden you can make $100,000 tomorrow. And that, you know, that's not true. You know, cat and dog jewelry is very much so saturated at this point. I would say that cat socks is another one, unless you can find some, you know, interesting kind of angle to take at it. I would say that this one was probably popularized like on some TV show, or like a celebrity had a celebrity endorsement, or there was a Kickstarter or something. We can see that this one has significantly more orders than anything else. Obviously, it's a very, you know, nice design. They're very, very cheap. And when you can get something for 59 cents a pair with a $1.65 for shipping, right? So that's like a $2.10 or $2.20 total shipped to your customer's door, right? Even if you're selling that for like $9.95, which is very cheap for like a pair of, you know, for a gift or novelty socks, for example, people are gonna eat that right up. And so, you know, I would generally stay away from the cat and dog niche unless it's something kind of new or trending or popular or something that you kind of haven't seen just beaten to death, like basic cat and dog jewelry. The next thing is bodysuit. We see a lot of orders even on some of these main ones. So, you know, these probably get popularized and people are selling these via Instagram influencers. And if you guys want me to make an Instagram influencer video, like a comprehensive one, how I actually use Instagram influencers, how I reach out to them, how to know how much to pay them, leave a comment down below telling me that you want me to make an Instagram influencer video. Just leave the words Instagram influencer in the comment and I'll know. And if we get, you know, 500 comments or something like that about Instagram influencers, then we can do a video on that and we will make something awesome. So bodysuits, again, I don't know much about bodysuits because I don't personally wear them. You know, maybe I do, but not on YouTube. So we see tactical knives. There's 3,000, 2,000. You know, another one that I would definitely look into, except there's kind of a big red flag here that they don't do e-packet shipping, at least these top ones. So this one does, but, you know, again, it's about double the price. But they do have free e-packet shipping. E-packet shipping, if you're watching and you don't know, it basically means it's the fastest version of shipping from China, 1 unit at a time. So without e-packet shipping, you know, China Post can take 30 to 50 days even to ship, which basically makes, you know, drop shipping not viable. But with e-packet, it's 12 to 20 days, and usually it's closer to the 12-day mark for the USA if you're shipping to the USA, just because we have such a huge volume. And so that's kind of AliExpress. The other way I like to use AliExpress is typing in best-selling AliExpress. And so they actually make this kind of difficult to find.
which is kind of annoying. But if you type in bestselling.aliexpress.com/en, which stands for English, it'll show you all of the best products that have sold, for the week's most popular products in all different types of categories too. So I'm not going to go super deep into this, but best selling on AliExpress and hot products is a great place to start, because I think it's kind of overwhelming looking at AliExpress or thinking about doing product research kind of from a blank slate. Don't let yourself fall into that. Go on AliExpress and just start exploring, right? Like, what is this? Bike light with no battery. Like, I would look at that. Looks interesting. There's tons of stuff on here. Full spectrum LED grow lamps, so grow lamps, that might be something interesting, and I've literally never thought about this in my life, but marijuana is getting legalized in more and more states and countries and things like that, and so maybe getting into the marijuana niche, starting to sell things for to grow your own plants, or researching that topic. I'm literally going to take a note actually right now to do more research into that, because and that's the point of product research, guys. It's a beautiful way to kind of think about it. I literally have never before in my life thought about marijuana type accessories, or for growing your own marijuana. And maybe that's not even what this is, to be honest. I'm not a marijuana expert, but it says LED grow lamps, and that's kind of what that came to my mind. So that's just a perfect example of just sitting there, actually doing it, being a part of it, participating actively in product research. You will find products. You just have to sit down and do it. And hopefully you can watch this video, and by the end of it, after we go through everything, you can really start to apply it yourself. Another cool website is called Fancy. This is a great little product, and this would be such a perfect product to advertise via Facebook, just because of how beautifully it's presented visually. Like, look at how amazing this video is. It's literally people riding on little pieces of luggage, which is hilarious, right? And who wouldn't want to do that if you're a business traveler and you have to do all this stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. Maybe you're a business traveler and that's why you're watching this video, because you want to stop being a business traveler. But if you're going to be a business traveler, you might as well buy this $1,500 Motobag motorized smart luggage. So this is a website called Fancy. It's an interesting website. I like to look at it. And just, I see you, boo, right? This is a great t-shirt design. We can talk about print on demand also. I think print on demand is kind of one of the most underutilized ways to use Shopify to make money. You can literally entirely on a computer create a full, merchandise store without having any t-shirts, no t-shirt presses, nothing. All you do is just organize the information, and they ship out and handle everything for you for a fee. It's a beautiful way to add a complementary income stream source to your actual store. So if you guys want me to make a print on demand video, leave a comment that says print on demand down below, and if I get enough of those, I will definitely make a video on that. And the reason I always say this, guys, is because I want to do what you guys want. I want to make videos on what you want to see, and that's why I always ask you. So I hope you guys like that I asked, because I really want to make sure that you guys have every resource you possibly could have to be successful online. And so there's a ton of stuff here. Golden for the art lover, explorer. They have watches, brown stitch leather tie. Right.
Now you can connect
HD laptop stand, Gemmy table lamp. These are pretty cool, kind of expensive, but definitely something that would be interesting to look at. Scottish Terriers cufflinks. These are great, right? This would be an example of something that I've personally never seen before from like a, quote unquote jewelry. And you can see a lot of the social proof here, which is great. So that's Fancy. One of the other ones that I really like is Wish.com. You see COP here because for some reason Wish.com saved my cookies from when I was traveling in Colombia. And so that's kind of what we're going to see here. So we can see popular though. And what we see here is, 20,000 people bought this. Again, this is kind of like orders on AliExpress. This is one of the main ways that I like to do product research, just because it organizes things in such a way that makes it really kind of easy to see, what is popular with other people without doing a ton of kind of work yourself. We see some slime here, some speakers, more slime, lots of slime. A cute little cat t-shirt. Watch, slime, my balls grant wishes. All right, this is going to be a Dragon Ball Z, which is great. We see a lot of stuff here. So I love seeing t-shirt designs. This is an ad actually, so it's actually not going to be a lot of help to us. But we see a lot of slime here. So, maybe somebody out there is taking a hint and is going to make a slime or like a toy store and test this, right? This is a good kind of time to talk about some of the big five. And so one of the main questions that I get is, Kevin, should I make a general store or should I make a niche store? And the answer to that question is you should make a niche store. General stores, for the most part, are overwhelming to people. And the example that I use often is, if you go to the grocery store, for example, and you go and you want to buy some cereal, and if they have 100 different types of cereal, it takes you a lot longer to actually pick out the one you want. Sometimes you don't even buy any at all because there's so many choices you literally just don't know which one you want. That's kind of how I picture a general store on Shopify. The reason that ClickFunnels works so well is because it literally funnels people from one step to the next with one button, one very defined order of operations, so people do not get overwhelmed. If you have a niche store with one type of product, people are much more likely to buy that product than if you have basketballs and plants and chairs and all of these things. People are like, how are these related? Like, why? They're overwhelmed by it. So create a niche store. So to niche or not to niche, niche is the answer. And so what I mean by 5 products a day keeps the doctor away, and I'm trying to make these all in a little idiom so you guys actually remember them, because they're very, very important. And I know they're silly, but 5 products a day keeps the doctor away. What I mean by this is the people who are going to be successful with Shopify are people who understand the importance of testing 5 products a day. And what I mean by testing 5 products a day is I mean literally importing them from AliExpress onto your Shopify store, creating a Facebook advertising campaign, with thought about it, not just throwing up any crazy Facebook ad campaign, but creating one, with targeting interest that makes sense, creating Facebook ad campaigns that, have a lot of thought and kind of meaning behind them. So people who import them from AliExpress, right, using Oberlo, it takes 2 seconds to import a product. It has, all of the images and product description and everything for you. Now it's on your website, right? You change the price. Maybe you're paying $1 plus $1 for e-packet shipping, so your cost is $2. You're charging $10, and so you have an $8 profit margin. You're probably shooting to want to spend maybe $3 total on advertising, and so you're making a $5 profit per unit. And so that's kind of the people who understand that if you can get a product completely live with a Facebook ad campaign easily in 30 minutes to an hour. And the more you do it, guys, the first time is going to take you a while because you have to figure out Oberlo, you have to figure out Shopify, you have to figure out Facebook ads. But the more you do it, the easier it gets, and you can get to the point where you can get a brand new product with a product listing on your website and a Facebook advertising campaign completely set up from front to finish within 20 minutes. And if you test 5 products a day, right, times 10 or 20 minutes, you could literally do an hour a day testing products, and some of them are going to work, guys. Not all of them, but some of them are going to work. And once you start getting $5 profit per unit per day, and you're selling 10 units, all of a sudden that's $50 profit every single day. And then if you add a second product that's doing the same thing, that's $100 profit a day, and it builds and builds and becomes the snowball effect where this is happening so fast. And you guys, it's very hard to believe until you really feel it. And so that is the 5 products a day to keep the doctor away. We already talked about orders, how important it is. I think a lot of people think that competition is a bad thing. It's a good thing with Shopify. It means that people are buying it. And if people are buying it, that means that if you're doing things right, they'll buy it from you too, right? Perceived value is a very important one. What I mean by this is, some products just seem expensive. And what I mean by seem expensive is, like jewelry, for example, costs almost nothing to make, but it seems expensive. Like when people buy diamond rings for their wife or husband or whatever for $2,000, right? That diamond is worth almost nothing, but it has perceived value. And, there's things going on in the background with diamond companies controlling the supply and things like that and artificially, mimicking demand. But, if you ignore all that complexity, basically they've done a masterful job at marketing the perceived value of diamonds, which means that people are willing to pay for it. So understanding what perceived value is and kind of how to use that to your advantage is a huge benefit. What I mean by feedback is basically just the number of actual reviews on an AliExpress product. So if we look back here at AliExpress, we can see that, with every product, let's just choose a random one. We see that there's a bunch of votes here, right? So there's 721 5 stars out of 1,200 votes, so it's pretty good. You want to generally see above a 4.75. And why this matters, guys, is because you want high quality. You don't want to ship a product from China to your end customer and have it arrive and just be trash or something else, because people will, try to return it or charge back on their credit card, and that's just going to be a bad time for you. So ensuring quality and making sure that the manufacturers that you actually are buying your product from and sourcing your product from on AliExpress are high quality. And so expansion and upsell. So what I mean by this, guys, is you don't want to sell like a product that has nothing similar to it. Like, and I don't have a good example off the top of my head, but maybe like a chameleon little coat for your reptile. Like there's nothing near that somebody's gonna like buy like another version of. And that was kind of a ridiculous example, but you want to enter a potential niche that has things that you can upsell and cross sell to people. And what I mean by this like is if maybe you open like a camera store, for example, and you want to be able to sell them a camera bag, or you want to be able to sell them camera lenses, or you want to be able to sell them a camera strap. And these are the types of things where people are making the residual income and the additional profit from. Because once somebody buys from you once, you guys, you get their email address, and that's so important because then you can actually reach out to them and say, hey, you bought this awesome camera. We actually have a 20% off sale going on our camera lenses. If you guys want to, come and buy a camera lens today, we have 20% off. And people just come back and buy. And that is how you make the easiest money you're ever going to make selling on Shopify to existing customers, guys. So being able to expand and having upsells and cross sells is incredibly, incredibly important. What I mean by marketing before, so this is kind of the secret to everything. We're going to talk about this at the end of the video. But what I was saying about emails, guys, you want to, and this is like the bare minimum. If you have, let's say you have 100 emails, for example, from people who bought your stuff or signed up for, like a $5 off coupon or 20% off coupon or whatever the case may be, you want to make at the very, very bare minimum $1 per email per month from the email list. So if you have 100 emails, you're going to make $100 at the minimum, right? And that's the very bare minimum. If you're doing things like not very well or incredibly wrong, you're still going to probably make about $1 per email per month. If you're doing things right, that number can actually balloon up to things that you actually honestly couldn't even believe. But $5 or $10 per email per month, sometimes depending on what your niche is. And those numbers start to really add up fast. So we'll talk about this marketing before, because it's kind of a secret that I like to use when I'm doing product research at the end of the video. So we talked about AliExpress, we talked about Fancy, we talked about Wish. Trend Hunter is a cool site that I like to use just kind of to get the creative juices flowing. I just go to the website, I go to the best here, and once we're kind of on this best, I just like to scroll around. Like they have a lot of crazy stuff here just to like look at, like top 100 lifestyle trends in 2018. They're showing all types of crazy stuff here. Magnet infused bedding, weighted sleep masks, hefty sleep-inducing blankets, right? Weighted blankets are incredibly popular right now on Amazon. People are making, some people are making $1 million a month selling weighted blankets. In the autism niche, there's a lot of, demand there because, it's something that people are having to deal with, with their families and children and things like that. Magnetic pain relief solutions, composite-looking lookbooks, digital designer workstations, smartphone charging mouse pads. And I'm not going to read off every single one of these, but I mean, this is beautiful. For example, like I might actually like literally buy this because I've been looking for a money clip, and so I'm actually going to save this particular one and buy it. And that is the power of e-commerce, you guys, in a nutshell. Because I literally am going to buy that as soon as I finish this video because I've been looking for a money clip, and I love kind of the wooden design and the wooden feel of things like that. And so there's a ton of stuff here. I'm not going to go through all of it, but Trend Hunter is one of like the coolest websites, and they give away so much for free. I just scroll through again. Go get your Alice in Wonderland on. Go down the rabbit hole, and you will find some amazing products. I promise you that. The next thing that I want to talk about is watch count. We've talked about this before, and like I'm going to go over it really briefly, but watch count tells you how many people are actually looking at something on eBay. And eBay, as it's not as big as it used to be. Obviously, it's been unseated as like kind of the go-to place by Amazon. Shopify is doing a good job of unseating it even further. But what we can see here is watchers. And so all I did was I just clicked on a category. I did home and goods, I think. Or what did I choose? Yeah, home and garden. And it'll show you, 22,500 people are looking at these zero gravity chairs, Egyptian sheets, right? All types of different things that they're actually going to show you, what people are looking at. And you can go by category. Like we could look at pet supplies, for example, would be a good one. So 5,000 people are looking at these bracelets with their, dogs' names on them or whatever. A bunch of people are looking at these cat trees. And you can type in anything. Like you could type in drone, for example. And they have submarine drones, and this isn't a particularly good one, but let's type in cat. We see a bunch of the stuff that we were just looking at with, collars and harnesses and dog tags, and you can judge again by social proof how interested people are in things, and it's going to pay huge dividends for you, because if more people are interested in something, it's much more likely that you're going to be able to actually sell that thing. So the last thing that I want to talk about is just a little secret that I like to use kind of to know that you're going to be able to target people before you actually invest the time into testing new products, because a lot of people will spend a bunch of time creating an awesome Shopify store and get all the products imported with Oberlo onto their store and get the price set and get the product description and everything, and then they'll set up a Facebook campaign, and then only at the very end of the process do they realize that they can't actually target people efficiently and target people by their interests to be able to actually put their ad in front of eyes of people who are going to buy their product. And so what I mean by this, guys, is let's take an example. Let's go back to AliExpress, and dog and cat stuff is very saturated at this point. But a cool little thing, to think about is dogs and cats is very general. But let's say, for example, that we wanted to talk about pit bulls as a type, a breed of dog. And so if we just type in pit bull and then organize by orders, we see a ton of orders here, for these spiked collars, for example. And so if we were going to go about trying to sell this particular product, a trick that I like to use is with a tool called Audience Insights. And so we're going to talk about Audience Insights. But before we do, guys, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to our $100 daily PayPal winner, where we choose one comment from you guys and we send $100 straight to your PayPal. If you guys want to enter to win our daily $100 giveaway, all you have to do is smash the subscribe button, turn on the little notification bells, and leave your best comment. And we're going to read all of your comments, guys. I try to respond to every single comment personally. It takes me a ton of time, but I love talking to you guys. I honestly really do. It means the world to me. And so leave your best comment down below, and we will choose one of the best comments, and we're going to send $100 straight to your PayPal. And if you guys subscribe, the notification bells, and leave your best comment, you're automatically entered to win our $1,000 weekly giveaway, where we're going to give away a brand spanking new course, whether it's Shopify or Amazon. It's going to be your choice. Whoever wins, you get a $1,000 value course completely for free, guys. So it's very easy to enter. Just subscribe, notification bells, and leave me your best comment on this video, and you're automatically entered to win. So let's get into this last little secret that I like to use to actually kind of know upfront whether or not I'm going to be able to laser target my Facebook audience before I actually put in the work to testing all of these products. So what I like to do, guys, is if we're thinking about selling a pit bull related product, right? Maybe it's a collar or whatever it is. I go over to a little tool called Audience Insights, and to find this, I'm in Business Manager right now. You just go to All Tools and Audience Insights here. And then we're going to go into the little interest section right here. So what we see right now is all of Facebook. All of Facebook, it has 54% women, 46% men, right? You can get a ton of different demographics and things like that. But what we're going to do is a sneaky little tactic right here. And we're going to type in pit bull into interest. And we're not going to choose the wrapper, but there's a ton of pages of pit bull owners who love their dog so much that they create these pages. And you can actually target people out there in the world who have liked pit bull related fan pages. So I'm only going to show my ad now to people who have proven to me by liking pit bull related pages, in the history of their Facebook use, they've proven that they love pit bulls. I'm only going to show my ad to come to buy my pit bull product to people who love pit bulls. And being able to actually know up front whether or not you actually have these interests available to you, whether it's pit bulls or maybe, it's a breed of cat, or, maybe it's, guinea pigs or something like that. You can type those into the interest bar here. If we typed in like pig, for example, pig lovers. Oh, I just actually saw guinea pig. So guinea pig actually is an interest here. So people who are interested in guinea pigs, you can literally target as an interest on Facebook. So, knowing that you can target people before you kind of put in the time and effort to create these stores and sell these products is a huge, huge advantage that I always use. It saves me probably more time than any other tactic that I've ever discovered with Shopify. So always come on to Audience Insights and make sure that you can actually laser target these people for these products before you start to sell them. So if I'm going to sell a pit bull related item, you better believe that I'm going to come over to Audience Insights and I'm going to make sure that there's a bunch of things that I can target as far as interest for Pitbull related pages. So I only show my ads to people who love pit bulls. And if you guys want to check out my Facebook advertising video, I go into a ton of detail about how to use Facebook ads in the best possible way. There will be a link down in the description to that video, my Facebook ads tutorial for complete beginners. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, smash the subscribe button, join the strongest family on YouTube. And if you guys want to enter to win our $100 and our $1,000 giveaway, we always announce those winners on the official Kevin David Instagram page. So if you're not following me on Instagram, what are you thinking? Because we always put out the absolute best, most entertaining content on Instagram, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Until next time, ninjas, we'll see you soon.